Good afternoon and welcome to the Wake Up Retirement Show. I am your host, Marc Sarner, here with you every Saturday afternoon talking to you about your retirement. You know, you've worked so hard for everything you have today. You want to make sure everything is working as efficiently as possible. You know, you went to work every day, you saved money, you put your kids through college, you paid off your house hopefully, and now you want to make sure that what you've saved is enough, that it's enough for your entire retirement, that it's sustainable. And nothing could have tested us more than a volatile market. Look at this past week. It's been extremely volatile. On Friday, we had a lot of volatility due to what's going on in Europe. And now it's really a global economy. People need to understand that there are huge swings that we can expect moving forward. And if you're not properly balanced, if you don't have a plan that addresses this volatility, that it smooths out the volatility, you're going to be left in a position where you are wondering if you're going to have to go back to work. You know, back in 2008, I kind of coined the term unretire, where people that retired, said goodbye to their coworkers and friends, and they went off to live in retirement only to find that it was not enough, that it was not sustainable. You know, and that's what we're going to be talking about today, folks. And you're listening to the Wake Up Retirement Show. I'm your host, Marc Sarner, here with you every Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock, talking to you about sustaining your retirement. You know, back in the day, you may have heard of this 4% rule, where basically if you pull out only 4% of your account, you're actually going to be able to be just fine in retirement. Because the markets go up, the markets go down, but if you only pull out 4%, you're going to be fine in the long run. Well, what we've discovered is it couldn't be further from the truth, especially in today's volatility. It basically outlines that it's broken, and successful strategies, there has to be other ways of doing it, being successful, using other strategies. Many advisors have been touting this 4% rule as a staple for safely withdrawing income. But you know, experts today are saying this is basically broken, that really it's not. You can't just say 4% because it doesn't take into consideration how the overall portfolio is positioned. It doesn't account for longevity. It doesn't account for future tax implications. What would happen if we had a major correction? Folks, just yesterday, we had a 600-point drop in the market. Not to scare you, because we understand the markets go up and down. But if your account does not allow for proper diversification, proper balance, you could be left out in the cold, or better yet, looking for another job. We don't want you to have to do that. If you retired once, it should be enough, unless you want to go back to work. You know, if you enjoy working and it's something that you want to do, then by all means do it. But if you have a plan to address this diversification, have a plan to address this situation, you would be in a better spot. We don't know when this major correction is going to hit, whether it's now or in the future, but we do know something is about to hit us, and something is on the horizon. And there are those that are prepared, and that there are those that don't want to think about it and put their their other needs first. And nothing could be more important than sustaining your retirement. You've worked so hard, you deserve it. You and your wife or spouse deserve to be put in a situation where this is your time to do what you want to do, and travel, see the grandchildren, and be places where you want to be, play golf more, whatever it may be. This is your time to do what you want to do in retirement. You're listening to the Wake Up Retirement Show. I'm your host, Marc Sarner, here with you every Saturday afternoon. You can get a hold of our operators, our office at 855-920-7233. That's 855 920-7233. What we do and what we offer is a free analysis. It gives you a chance to find out if you are properly diversified, if you are properly in position to handle a major correction. You want to find out now and stress test your situation before you have a major problem on your hands. You don't want to be in a situation where, the markets are down 20%. Let me wait for it to come back. Then it goes down to 30%. Then, let's just hang on. A lot of advisors, what they say, just hang on. It's going to come back. It always comes back. But folks, really, if you're extracting money in retirement, if you're pulling income in retirement, the game has changed. The game has changed. You have changed the game. Once you start living on your investments and the markets go down and you're extracting a percentage of your portfolio to sustain your retirement, you have changed the game because now you are digging a further hole for yourself. And you can find us on the World Wide Web, by the way, at wakeupretirement.net. There's a wealth of information there. There's some guides on how to balance your portfolio, how to do these things as far as income, and prepare for the future. I want to thank one of our sponsors, by the way, which is Kilter Termite and Pest Control. The Kilter Termite and Pest Control leader is the termite and pest control. You want to find out your situation and find out a problem before it becomes a major problem. They have over 20 years experience. They are in the North San Diego area. You can give them a call at 858-371-2928. That's 858-371-2928. And I'm your host, Marc Sarner, here with you on Saturday afternoon, talking to you about all areas of your retirement. We talk to people about income. We talk about reducing taxes. We talk about managing risk. And that's really what this show is about, is managing risk. You might be thinking that maybe you're properly diversified, or maybe you're thinking, I have an advisor he's worked with for years, or I've worked with for years. How are you different from what I already have? It's basically a second chance, a second set of eyes to find out if your situation is sustainable. We run an analysis. We take a look at your situation. We show you what's possible, if it's relevant. It very well may be that your situation is perfect and that your income is fine and that your positions are fine and properly balanced. Wouldn't you like to know beforehand? You want to give us a call, toll free, 855-920-7233. That's 855-920-7233. We just had a wonderful workshop in Escondido and Ramona in the past couple of weeks. Really had some good people come out and ask some really good questions about how do I make sure that I have enough? How do I know if I have enough? How much should I pull out on a monthly basis? What about taxes? What about Social Security? When's the best time to take Social Security? These are all good questions. What about my spouse? My spouse is still working. We're still contributing to his 401k or his IRA. You want to plan for a longer lifespan. I recently wrote an article about this, about inflation, and for the wallstreet.com. And basically what we do is we talk about where longevity is a factor is a healthy 65-year-old couple. One of them has a 63% chance of living past the age of 90. And if one of you live past the age of 90, that means we have to design plans to sustain that lifespan. What we're seeing is that a lot of financial plans out there are running out of money and designed to run out of money at age 90. And if we design a plan to run out of money at age 90, we are planning to fail 63% of the time. By the way, 7 out of 10 women will face some level of poverty during their lifetime because we just don't address these issues. We use a guesstimate. We use a fake number. We don't address longevity. We don't address portfolio performance or portfolio balance. All of it is relevant to your situation. and you are listening to the Wake Up Retirement Show. I'm your host, Marc Sarner, here with you every Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock, talking to you about these areas that are of the most concern for you. Maybe you've just retired. Maybe you are thinking about retiring. Maybe you have been to a workshop or have not. Folks, studies have shown that those that come to our events or anybody's events, that they have a higher chance of having a quality retirement because you're better informed, you're armed with information, and it's relevant for you to get to one of these workshops. If you want to find out when the next time that I speak at one of my events, you can give us a call at toll-free 855-920-7233 or 855-920-7233. You can email me also at Marc, that is M-A-R-C as in Charlie, at wakeupretirement.net. And you can find out more information about us on the World Wide Web at wakeupretirement.net. We're going to take a quick break here for a moment, listen to some wonderful music, or pour yourself another cup of coffee or tea, whatever it may be. We'll be right back after these words. And we're back. Welcome to the Wake Up Retirement Show. I'm your host, Marc Sarner, here with you every Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock. We are here for our second portion of our today's show, and we're talking about stock market volatility. We're talking about retirement. We're talking about proper diversification, and you can find out all of our information on the World Wide Web at wakeupretirement.net. You can give us a call back at 855-920-7233. That's 855-920-7233. Our operators are standing by for those that want to call in. We have a guide for retirement income and sustaining your retirement income through this volatile market. You want to give us a call. That is 855-920-7233. It gives you some real powerful information on what you can do to sustain retirement in a volatile market. So we hope you can take advantage of that. And what we're going to talk about now is our second portion of our show is talking to you about the biggest threat to your retirement. And it's not necessarily inflation. It's really the stock market. And it's not really the rising costs of healthcare. It's living longer. This really isn't someone's opinion. It's just fact. People are living longer than ever before, and it means that you have to have a strategy of your money lasting 25, 30, or 40 years. So really, the issue is to plan for a longer retirement, evaluating your expenses, you're evaluating your income streams. You could purchase different investments that provide income. You can delay Social Security benefits if at all possible, or maybe you have a situation where you need to take income right away. Make sure that you are saving enough. If you're still working, make sure that you're saving enough for retirement because you'll need it, not today. You'll find a way to survive today. The issue is how are you going to survive down the line when you eventually retire? What about making catch-up contributions? What if you're behind the eight ball? You got a late start in retirement, and what do you do? How can you catch up? And you have to have basically a business plan for your retirement. That's the key to your scenario. And work with somebody, a professional, a seasoned professional, to help come up with solutions to your situation. Somebody who's not just going to just sell you products or sell you services. Someone that's actually going to follow through and be there for you when and if you need money or when and if you have questions about your money. Somebody that needs to be proactive, taking a proactive approach to dealing with you in retirement. In other words, it's not good enough for someone just to answer the call when you call as the client. They should be proactive, seeing you on a quarterly basis, The laws are constantly changing. The rules are constantly changing. The markets are constantly changing. And you don't even get a phone call or an email for a consultation. Isn't your business worth it? Isn't your retirement worth it? I believe it is. So, really you want to think about retirement as a strategy to sustain your lifespan. The average U.S. 65-year-old man is now expected to live 86.6 years. That's up from 84.6 years in 2000, according to these new mortality estimates that were released by the Society of Actuaries, a professional organization for actuaries. And the average 65-year-old woman is expected to live 88.8 years. My wife's grandmother actually passed on at age 98. So I think we all know that people are living longer. As a matter of fact, I had a client of mine who played golf. She's 70 years old. She went golfing with an 89-year-old. So about 20 years ago, an 89-year-old, those people would not be working. They would not be golfing. They would not be active on the golf course like such or doing the things they want to do. Now, because people have taken better care of themselves over a long period of time, now people are actually playing golf at almost 90 years old. So there is an example of longevity. And so the question is, instead of saving enough to last 20 years, you now have to build a portfolio that will last to at least 22 years. And that may seem like a significant increase, but really it may not seem like very much, but you know what? It could be another 100,000 more on top of what you've already established as far as savings. And, really dealing with planning for a long life, we can't know how much time we have, obviously. Meanwhile, the major retirement decisions, how much to save, how long to work, when to take Social Security, how much to withdraw each year for your retirement, hinge upon the many years you can reasonably expect to be around. So a bigger payout considers other investment strategies where you can basically take an income and sustain it through your lifetime. You want to make sure that you understand what it is you're getting. Because if you make a mistake at this stage of the game, does the advisor pay the price? Does the institution pay the price? No, you pay the price. As the advisor, you have a responsibility to understand, to make the client understand what is going to be happening with the people and making sure that their goals are being met, that their needs are being met, that everything is being taken care of. What happens if something happens to one of them? What's going to happen to the income? How is the pension positioned upon the spouse of the spouse's passing? How are things in line with their goals? What if there's a market correction? Are they properly balanced? Are you properly balanced? And that's really the issue. You're listening to the Wake Up Retirement Show. I'm your host, Marc Sarner, here with you every Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock, talking to you about the issues that really drive your life. Your retirement allows you to do the things that you want to do. Make sure that you are able to do whatever it is, whether that means spending more time with the children, golfing more. But we do have a guide for you. For the first 5 callers, you want to give us a call toll free. Our operators are standing by. 855-920-7233. That's 855-920-7233. We also have a Social Security guide as well. So ask for both of them, and we will send both of them out. Operators are standing by for that Social Security guide. You give us a call, 855-920-7233. That's 855-920-7233. And I want to thank our sponsor, Kilter Termite and Pest Control, the termite and pest control leader in the North San Diego area. And you can get a hold of them for a free estimate. They've been around in the North San Diego area for about 20 years now. And you want to give them a call at 858-336-3776. 858-371-2928. That's 858-371-2928. And you are listening to the Wake Up Retirement Show. I'm your host, Marc Sarner, here with you every Saturday afternoon and dealing with all issues that are relevant to your situation. You know, it is summertime. Kids are out of school. Grandkids are out of school. You probably want to do things with them, share your time with them, share the wisdom of your years. But you want to make sure that they understand that saving for retirement is important now than ever before. Studies have shown that the sooner you start, the better off you are. And once you put that money away, make sure that it is designed specifically for retirement purposes only. They should not be extracting this money for any reason other than retirement dollars down the line. You know, so many people, they actually get into their 401ks early. They borrow against it to buy a house. They borrow against it to put a pool. They borrow against it because they need to pay bills. They need to live for now. And, basically there's a real problem there. Is real statistics have shown that people don't have enough for retirement. And almost retirement being a pipe dream. You know, people are going to have to work till the day they die. They just don't have enough money to sustain any type of lifespan in retirement. And, people are living longer, as we've mentioned. Cost of living on the rise. Taxes are only going up. Volatile markets are here. Proper balance is critical. And so when you think about your situation, ask yourself this question: are you in a position to sustain a major correction? Are we sure? Should we get a second opinion? Should we go to a workshop to find out if there's anything further we can do to improve, to enhance our situation? You're going to want to give us a call at 855-920-7233. That's 855-920-7233. And you're listening to the Wake Up Retirement Show. I'm on every Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock, dealing with the current events, dealing with issues, making sure that all your questions are being answered. If you have a question about your situation, you can always email me at Marc, M-A-R-C, at wakeupretirement.net. Be happy to answer any questions you have about your scenario. Maybe you're sitting there with a specific question about a specific issue. You're going to want to give me a call, or you can actually email at the email I gave you, which is Marc, M-A-R-C, at wakeupretirement.net, or give us a call, 855-920-7233. That's 855-920-7233. You can go to a website at wakeupretirement.net, and we will see you next week. Take care now.